Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Today, we're going to run through the 9 most frequently asked Toyota Tacoma questions in the world, or at least on the internet. So let's jump right in. These are the questions that are asked most frequently, according to the interwebs, about the Toyota Tacoma. Number 1, and these aren't in any particular order. Number 1, how long does the Toyota Tacoma last? You know, for the longtime buyers out there, this is a pretty important question. And this is kind of an average, right? It said, if well maintained, 300,000 miles. That's one big reason why we pay so much when we buy used Toyota Tacomas, because they have so much life in them. They last a long time. Of course, there are those out there, you know, the million milers, the 500,000 milers. There's always those above and below, but 300,000 miles. Number 2, what are the common Toyota Tacoma problems? Now, the biggest one that was listed covers the years 1995 through 2007. So we're getting a bit long in the tooth, but it was premature ball joint wearing. More recently, and a lot of people complain about this, I've never really experienced it myself, but transmission issues, both from mechanical problems, which I find strange, hard to believe, to the gear shifting problems. And I think that's really what people are talking about when they mention transmission problems with the Tacoma. And if you're not familiar with it, like me, it's the constant thing that people complain about in gear shifting. It's always looking for the right gear, never stays in 6th gear. Number 3, what Toyota Tacomas to avoid? Now, this would be if you're in the used market, I guess. Hopefully, none of the new ones have these issues, but you never know. The ones to avoid reportedly are 2009, 2016, and 2017. They say these had slipping transmissions, wiring problems, and jerky acceleration. You know, I find it funny talking or speaking about acceleration when it comes to the 3rd generation Tacoma, because it is horrible. There is a lag, and I think that's probably what people are talking about, the built-in lag that the Tacoma has, and I think that's really planned by Tacoma, or Toyota rather. I think that's an effort to kind of increase fuel economy. But we pay for it and that we just can't get off the line. 2009, 2016, and 2017. Next up, number 4, what is a good price for the Toyota Tacoma? You know, it's always funny. I had somebody ask me recently on the channel about pricing. Is this a good price? Well, it depends. There are so many factors involved in that. You know, what part of the country do you live in? What options are you putting on? You know, what's the dealer looking for? What are you trading in? I mean, there's all kinds of things that go into pricing. So my answer to that, and it was really vague, by the way, on the internet. So my answer to that is, it's the price that you're comfortable with. Whatever the price that you think is good, that you can live with, that you think is fair, that is the best price. There really is no definitive number when it comes to Toyota Tacoma pricing. You know, you can't tell people, well, I think you should spend $31,000 on this truck. And if you pay any more or any less, you're not doing it right. Next up, number 5, what is the best Toyota Tacoma year? Well, I think across the board from what I've seen, the best is 2015, and it's because of reliability. One of the biggest reasons, as well as resale, I guess, is reliability. That model year scored a 5 out of 5 in Consumer Reports. Now, that depends on whether or not you put any credibility into Consumer Reports. You're going to hear all kinds of people talking about political affiliations, and they do it because they get paid to do it, blah, blah, blah. But it's one of the standards we have to go by, and they rank the 2015 as the best year based on reliability scores. A perfect score. Number 6, why should you even buy a Toyota Tacoma? You know, this is particularly interesting today because there are so many different trucks out there now. You know, everybody has jumped back into the midsize and even created a micro-sized market. But what's widely accepted is for reliability and off-roading. Those are the two biggest reasons why you should consider a Toyota Tacoma. Number 7, when shouldn't you buy a Toyota Tacoma? If you're looking for good fuel economy and comfort, arguably comfort, I suppose. The Tacoma, in my experience, is not the most comfortable truck in the world, but it's not horrible these days either. You know, Toyota added the 10-way power adjustable seat, and I think when they did that, they kind of got rid of most of the comfort concerns across the board, as long as you get that seat. You know, prior to that, we had a seat that made you feel like you were in a rocket getting ready to take off. I had to put spacers in mine to bring it back up to where it was pretty much level to make it comfortable for me. But anymore, I think it's pretty comfortable. Next up, which is better, the Tundra or the Tacoma? You know, the ongoing argument, I guess, and I don't think it's really fair to either truck. They're completely different trucks as far as capability, size, of course, what they can do. I think it's like comparing apples to oranges. But many have expressed disappointment in the redesigned Tundra. And it's because of this that it's, I think, fairly widely accepted, arguably, that the Toyota Tacoma remains strong when it comes to comparing it to the Tundra. Again, it depends on what you're buying the truck for. It's another question I get on the channel. Should I buy a Tacoma or should I buy a Tundra? Well, it's like, should I buy a box truck or should I buy a semi? You know, they really have two different purposes. It depends on what you're going to do with it and which one you like the best. Number 9, why is there still a shortage of Toyota Tacomas? You know, I did a lot drive through the other day looking to see if there were any Tacomas out there. And to my surprise, and I was surprised, I thought we were done with the shortages. We are not. They had one, maybe, on the lot and one coming in. That was available. And I'm sure that one coming in probably is not available now. It was supposed to come in a day or two ago. Matter of fact, I think it was yesterday. I'm sure it's probably gone now. So there aren't any out there to buy. And it seems to be that way across the country right now. But why? Why are we still having it? There's two reasons. One, the semiconductor shortage continues. And two, other parts and supply issues. You can't build them if you can't buy the parts to put in them. And who wants a stripped down Tacoma? You know, I've heard some of the other dealerships or manufacturers rather out there are deleting things from their trucks so that they can move units. I don't know that I want a half-built Tacoma. I'd have to wait, but I'd rather have a finished version than something that's missing, say, a digital speedometer. It's kind of up to you, I suppose, but I don't really see the shortages going away anytime soon. Time will tell, I suppose. Anyway, those are the 9 most frequently asked questions in the world, or at least on the internet. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about the Honda Civic, and RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.